Hi, Andrew here. Today I'd like to teach you how to solve a pretty complicated problem, especially if you don't know calculus. It's actually not that bad, but it could be a little bit confusing on how to start, so let's take a look. It says an open box with a square base is to have a volume of 108 cubic inches. Find the dimensions of the box that will have a minimum surface area. And it says let x equal to the length of the side of the base. All right. So you have a picture here. Now I know the base here, the base of the box, this part over here, right? The base of that box has to be a square. All right. Now it says let x equal one of the lengths of the sides of the base. So if this side, let's say, is x, then that also has to be x. So that should be okay, right? That's what a square is, equal sides. 4 equal sides, right? Now, I don't know what the height of the box is, okay? So what I'm just going to label that, I'm going to label it h. I don't know the height. So I'm going to label the height of the box h. Now I have my box labeled, okay? Remember also that the top of the box is open. There is no surface, okay, on the top there. So now they gave me so that's all I can kind of do pictorially. Now I have to think about what did they give me? Well, they gave me, they're talking about two things, right? They're talking about the volume of the box. All right. So the volume of a box. How do we find the volume of a box? Or what is the volume of a box? What's simply the length of the box times the width of the box times the height of the box. Okay. So the volume of this box, I don't care that the top is open, right? Because it doesn't matter if the top is open or closed in terms of the volume of the box. It doesn't matter. So the volume of this box is going to be equal to the length x times the width x times the height h. So it's x times h. Or in other words, it's just x squared times h. Now they told us the volume. They said the volume is 108 cubic inches. So this is going to be, so instead of writing v, I'm going to write 108. Okay? All right. Now that's basically as far as I can take that analysis in terms of the volume. That's all I can do. All right? So I move on. I move on to the next thing, and they're talking something about minimum surface here. It's like, what, minimum? How the hell am I going to do that? Well, don't focus on minimum. Just focus on surface area first. We have to find a function, just like we did the function. We found a function for the volume of the box. I want to find a function for the surface area of this box. Now, that matters whether the top is open or closed, okay? What they mean by surface area is they mean what is the area of, let's say, this base surface plus the area of the front face of the box here plus the area of the side face plus the area of that back face and then plus the area of the left side. Okay? Not the top because there is no top, right? So I really have how many sides of the box? There's really, in terms of material, there's really 5 sides. There's the side there's the base, then there's the front, the right side, the back side, and then the left side. Okay, so there's really 5 faces. So in terms of the area for the base, that's easy, right? The area of the base, it's a square. What's the area? It's just going to be x times x, or x squared. Okay, so I already know here that surface area, at least for the base, is going to be x squared. Now, what is the surface area then, let's say, of the right side? Well, that square is going to be x for the width times then the height. Okay, so it's just x times h. So I would add to that, right? The surface area of the base plus the surface area of the right side. Then plus the surface area of the back. What do you think the surface area of the back is? Well, again, it's going to be this length times that height. So x times h again. And wait a minute, what's going to be the surface area of the left side? Oh, it's x times h again. And what's the surface area of the front face? Oh, x times h again. So how many x's and h's do you have, or how many pairs? You have 4 of them, right? So, in other words, you can just write 4 times x h because you got 4 of those surfaces. Now that's all I can do for surface area. Okay? That's it. And you're like, oh my God, okay, all right, so that's cool. Okay, I understand this. Where do we go from here? Right? Now this is the hard part. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I have a function for surface area, I have a function for volume. Now I have to really think about this. They want me to find the dimensions for that will have a minimum surface area. What this really means to me is that I really need to analyze this function, okay? I have to somehow find the dimensions of this box that give a minimum surface area. Okay? So you don't know calculus yet, or you're not supposed to. We can do calculus with this, but I'm not going to do it that way. But what we can do now is basically this is the trick. I have to somehow take this, okay, this function, and plug it into the calculator. Now, obviously, we can't do that because we have two variables. But we have another equation. Okay, we have another equation. So what I could do is I could solve this function or this equation for, let's say, h. Okay, solve it for h. If I were to do that, right, in order to solve this equation for h, I'd have to divide out x squared from both sides. So in other words, it would be 180 over x squared is equal to h. Now what that allows me to do is that allows me to take this result here and plug it in for h in my other equation. The reason being is because h, it doesn't matter, I don't care what equation we are in, h is h, okay? So now what that allows me to do is I can plug this in. I can say surface area is going to be equal to x squared plus 4 times x times this h thing, which is going to be 180 over x squared, okay? Now surface area is then going to be equal to, can we simplify this at all? Sure. We can say that this is x squared plus then x here and the x squared there is going to, one of them will cancel, right? So it's going to be 4 times 180, which is going to be 400 and, wait, did I, no. I made a mistake. Careful. This is 108. Oh boy. Did you pay attention? Did you catch it? Just making sure. Just, that's all. It was just a test. 108. 108. And this is going to be 108. Okay, you're constantly checking. I'm constantly thinking about looking back at the numbers. Everybody makes mistakes. The only question is if you're going to catch them. Obviously, you can't catch them all. Otherwise, you'd be perfect, and nobody's perfect. So, we caught it, though, thankfully. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do 4 times 108. All right, so that should then be 432. And then the x's are going to cancel. One of them will at least, and you're going to be left with x on the bottom. Okay? Now, notice how we did a substitution basically, right? This is a system of equations problem. That's really what it is. Now you did all that substitution method and elimination and all this and all that, right? And you're like, what the hell when am I going to use it? Well, this is when you would use it. Now you might say, well, when the heck am I going to use this problem in real life? And you'd actually be surprised, okay? The whole thing is that you're learning how to solve problems with math. You're becoming a problem solver. Okay, you might not need to know how to find the minimum surface area of a box, but you're learning how to problem solve. Isn't that useful? Aren't you solving problems almost all the time when you're out there in the real world? Okay, so you might not solve this exact problem, but you're thinking about how to solve problems, and throughout school you're building tools in order to become a better problem solver. In any case, what we're going to do now is I have a function here that has, guess what? Only one unknown here on the right-hand side. So this is like my y. I can say surface area is like y, and this is equal to x squared plus 432 over x. And guess what? I can now find the minimum by using my calculator. Watch. Plug it in. So you're going to go x squared, okay, plus 432 divided by x. All right, and let's just hit graph. And we have nothing there. Okay, so let's change the window. Let's go to zoom. I should have done that first. Let's go to zoom standard. Let's just go to 6 for now, and let's just see what happens. Okay, so we're starting to see a little bit of that function there. So what we want to do now is let's just zoom out a little more. Let's go to 3, all right, and hit enter. Okay, so we're still not able to see it fully, so we have to really kind of zoom out even a little bit further, okay? Let's go to zoom out again. Let's hit 3. Okay. So now, as you can see here, we're starting to see a little bit of something going on up in here. Now, here's the thing. Can you have any... So this gets complicated because now... Well, not really complicated. But you might say, well, I got a line over here. I got something going on over there. What am I going to do? Well, let's go back and think logically. All right. Can you have... Is there any way that the x can be a negative number? Can you have a negative side to the box? No, not in reality, right? So let's change the window on this. Okay, let's go to x minimum. Let's go to 0. X cannot be less than 0. And let's say that the max is going to be, I'll adjust it now because, so let's say it's going to be 10. Okay. Now let's go to the y. The y here represented the surface area. Okay, can the surface area be negative? Can you have negative surface area in a box? No, so let's just keep that at 0. Okay, and let's now hit graph. All right, so this is a little bit better. Now, obviously, we don't know what's going on over here, but I can kind of make an estimate that it's going up and up and up and up and up. And I'm going to say that this is going up and up and up and up and up as well. And guess what? What does it reach over here? What's happening in this region? It's reaching a minimum. The surface area is a minimum. Right? Remember, the y-axis over here represented surface area. And this axis here represented the x, which represented the sides of the base. So what I can do is now I can estimate if I wanted with the calculator. I can just kind of go down. It looks like it's almost going to be at 6, right? Each one of these tick marks represents now a unit of 1 because I went from 0 to 10 and my x scale was 1. So what that means is that every tick mark represents 1. So it looks like I'm around 6, but I can calculate that now exactly. Watch, go to second, hit second, trace. That brings up your calc function or calculate. Then what you're going to do is you're going to find the minimum. You want to find the minimum of your function, so go to 3 and hit enter. Now, the minimum occurs somewhere around this point. The calculator is going to ask you for 3 things. Make sure you're to the left of the minimum. So somewhere, just to the left. You don't have to be, just make sure you're to the left, okay? Somewhere to the right. So if you want there or you went over here, who cares, as long as you're to the right. And then guess. You don't got to be perfect. You just got to find it roughly and hit enter. And look what the calculator said. Now, the calculator sometimes can't calculate it exactly, and it should be exactly 6. But, as you can see, it's 5.999999, blah, 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 okay? So, technically, the minimum value here should be 6. All right, the minimum value will be 6. Now, and the reason why I'm not choosing 10, and look at what the volume is, right? The volume is also 108, okay? Now, excuse me, that's not the volume, that's also the surface area. So it's interesting that the surface area and the volume were actually equal in this problem, interestingly enough. So the minimum here now is going to be, for the x, because remember the x represented the base, okay, is going to be 6. So x is now equal to 6. And if you know x is 6, that's the length of the box. That's also the side of the box. Could we find the height of the box now? Of course we can, right? Of course we can. We have this formula over here. And that formula on this side is going to be x squared. So we're going to then plug that in for, we're going to plug 6 into there, right? So it's going to be 108 is equal to then 6 squared times h. Because what I want to do is I want to find the height, right? I need to find that height. So just divide this. 6 squared is 32. Right? Divide that side by 32. Divide that side by 32. H is then going to be equal to, if you want to use your calculator, go for it, 108 over 32. What do you think that's going to work out to be? It's going to work out to be 3.375. So 3.375. You can convert that to a fraction if you needed to, and you can do that with your calculator. Right? You can go to math, hit number 1, frac, and it's going to take your answer then and convert it into a fraction as 27 over 8. Okay? So that's what you can have there. And your h here is going to be 3. I'm just going to leave it as 3.375. And those are the dimension of the box that give a minimum surface area. That's it. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really do appreciate it. I really do hope this helps. And if it does, give us a hand. Like, subscribe, maybe even tell some of your classmates. And by the way, if you want more help, check out our YouTube channel. Also, go to our website. We're constantly updating the website. And we want to help you with more. We really want to see you succeed. I know it can be confusing on how to do that, but you know what? You came to the right place because we're creating things constantly to help you get through all your classes. All right? Be well.